Have you ever felt like no matter how much you study, you just can't seem to get the hang of it? Imagine if there was a way to unlock your learning potential and study up to 10 times faster, all while putting in what seems like no effort at all. Well, believe it or not, there is. And today, I'm going to share that secret with you. Let's start with a story about a student named Emily. Emily was like many of us, struggling to keep up with her studies, always feeling behind and overwhelmed. She tried everything, from all-nighters to flashcards, but nothing worked. That was until she discovered the power of active recall. Active recall is a learning technique that involves actively stimulating your memory during learning. Instead of passively reading through notes or textbooks, Emily began to test herself on the material she was learning. She would close her book and try to write down everything she could remember. At first, it was difficult. She couldn't recall much, but as she persisted, something amazing happened. Her recall improved, and with it, her learning speed skyrocketed. She was studying faster, retaining more, and using her time more efficiently. Now, let's talk about why this method worked so well for Emily and how it can do the same for you. When you test yourself, you force your brain to retrieve information, and this process strengthens your memory. Moreover, this technique highlights what you don't know, focusing your studies on areas where you need improvement, making your study sessions incredibly effective. But Emily's secret doesn't end there. She combined active recall with spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a technique where you review the information over increasing intervals. She would review her notes after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, and so on. This method plays on the psychological spacing effect, which suggests that information is more easily recalled if learning sessions are spaced out over time rather than crammed in one session. Together, active recall and spaced repetition transformed Emily's study habits. She was no longer cramming, she was learning in a smarter, more structured way. And the best part? It felt effortless because she was working with her brain's natural processes. Let's break away from Emily's story and think about how you can apply these techniques in your own life. Start with your toughest subject. Take a small section of your notes and read it thoroughly. Then, close your notebook and write down or say aloud everything you can recall. Check what you remembered against your notes and repeat the process until you can recall most of the information. Then, plan review sessions based on the spaced repetition model. You might review the material the next day, then 2 days later, and finally a week later. It sounds simple, but the results will surprise you. Moreover, think about how you can integrate this into your daily life. For example, if you're learning a new language, instead of passively listening to language tracks, pause after each sentence and try to repeat it from memory. Apply the principles of spaced repetition by revisiting these sentences throughout the day. Now, imagine combining these powerful techniques with a healthy study environment. Ensure your study space is free of distractions. This could mean studying in a quiet room, turning off your phone, or using apps that block distracting websites. The right environment can enhance your focus and, by extension, your ability to recall and process information. Remember, the journey to faster learning is not just about reading faster or cramming more efficiently, it's about learning smarter. It's about making the most of your brain's natural mechanisms. This approach not only saves you time but also makes learning a more enjoyable and less stressful experience. So, as you move forward, think about Emily. Think about how changing her approach to studying not only improved her grades but also her overall well-being and confidence. And then ask yourself, what could you achieve if you studied not harder, but smarter? How might your life change if you could learn anything faster and retain it longer? With these tools in hand, you're not just equipped to boost your academic performance, you're ready to transform how you engage with information in every aspect of your life. So why not start today? After all, if learning becomes faster and easier, what new possibilities could open up for you? Absolutely, let's dive deeper into how this approach can revolutionize not just your study habits, but also how you approach challenges and new opportunities. Consider another aspect of effective learning, the power of visualization. Visualization isn't just for athletes or performers, it's a potent tool for students as well. When Emily began to visualize the information she was learning, she noticed an even greater boost in her recall abilities. For instance, if she was studying human anatomy, instead of just reading about the parts of the human body, she would close her eyes and picture how each organ fits and functions within the system. This method helps to create a mental map, making the information more memorable and accessible. Furthermore, integrating sensory experiences can enhance visualization. If you're studying music, listen to the pieces as you read about their structure and history. If it's chemistry, watch reactions in videos or labs and then mentally rehearse the steps and their outcomes. By engaging different senses, you reinforce learning and make it much more engaging and hard to forget. Now let's explore another crucial element that Emily used to her advantage, the Feynman technique. Named after the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman, this technique involves teaching a concept you want to learn about to someone else in simple terms. Emily started small, explaining complex subjects to her younger siblings. By attempting to simplify and teach the material, she uncovered gaps in her understanding and solidified her grasp on the subject matter. This method is powerful because when you teach, you learn twice. Start by choosing a topic, study it, then try explaining it as if you are teaching someone who has no background knowledge of the subject. Through this, you'll quickly realize which parts you understand well and which parts need more work. Now, combining all these techniques, active recall, spaced repetition, visualization, and the Feynman technique, can seem daunting. However, the key is to start small and gradually integrate these strategies into your study routine. Each element doesn't just stand alone but synergizes with the others to supercharge your learning capability. Let's also touch upon the importance of consistency. All these techniques require a commitment to regular practice. It's not enough to try them once, the real magic happens when they become a part of your daily routine. Emily made it a point to dedicate specific times of the day for active recall, spaced repetition reviews, visualization sessions, and peer teaching. This structured approach reduced her procrastination and exponentially increased her learning efficiency. So, what does this mean for you? It means that by adopting these strategies, not only can you study faster, but you can also enhance your understanding and enjoyment of the material. It means that exams and deadlines won't be sources of unbearable stress, but rather opportunities to demonstrate your knowledge and confidence in your subjects. As we near the end of our discussion, think about how these strategies can apply beyond academic learning. These techniques are universal and can be used to master any new skill, be it a sport, a musical instrument, a new language, or even professional skills like coding or public speaking. Finally, reflect on this: knowledge is power, but the ability to acquire and use knowledge effectively is a superpower. With these strategies, you are not merely learning faster, you are learning smarter. You are building a foundation that will support not only academic success but lifelong learning and achievement. As you go forward, remember Emily's journey from struggle to success, and think about your own path. What will you do with the power to learn anything faster? How will you turn your newfound skills into opportunities? The possibilities are endless, and it all starts with a simple decision to try a new way of learning. So, why wait? Start today, and unlock the full potential of your mind. Absolutely, let's dive deeper into how this approach can revolutionize not just your study habits, but also how you approach challenges and new opportunities. Consider another aspect of effective learning: the power of visualization. Visualization isn't just for athletes or performers, it's a potent tool for students as well. When Emily began to visualize the information she was learning, she noticed an even greater boost in her recall abilities. For instance, if she was studying human anatomy, instead of just reading about the parts of the human body, she would close her eyes and picture how each organ fits and functions within the system. This method helps to create a mental map, making the information more memorable and accessible. Furthermore, integrating sensory experiences can enhance visualization. If you're studying music, listen to the pieces as you read about their structure and history. If it's chemistry, watch reactions in videos or labs and then mentally rehearse the steps and their outcomes. By engaging different senses, you reinforce learning and make it much more engaging and hard to forget. Now let's explore another crucial element that Emily used to her advantage, the Feynman technique. Named after the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman, this technique involves teaching a concept you want to learn about to someone else in simple terms. Emily started small, explaining complex subjects to her younger siblings. By attempting to simplify and teach the material, she uncovered gaps in her understanding and solidified her grasp on the subject matter. This method is powerful because when you teach, you learn twice. Start by choosing a topic, study it, then try explaining it as if you are teaching someone who has no background knowledge of the subject. Through this, you'll quickly realize which parts you understand well and which parts need more work. Now, combining all these techniques, active recall, spaced repetition, visualization, and the Feynman technique, can seem daunting. However, the key is to start small and gradually integrate these strategies into your study routine. Each element doesn't just stand alone but synergizes with the others to supercharge your learning capability. Let's also touch upon the importance of consistency. All these techniques require a commitment to regular practice. It's not enough to try them once, the real magic happens when they become a part of your daily routine. Emily made it a point to dedicate specific times of the day for active recall, spaced repetition reviews, visualization sessions, and peer teaching. This structured approach reduced her procrastination and exponentially increased her learning efficiency. So, what does this mean for you? It means that by adopting these strategies, not only can you study faster, but you can also enhance your understanding and enjoyment of the material. It means that exams and deadlines won't be sources of unbearable stress, but rather opportunities to demonstrate your knowledge and confidence in your subjects. As we near the end of our discussion, think about how these strategies can apply beyond academic learning. These techniques are universal and can be used to master any new skill, be it a sport, a musical instrument, a new language, or even professional skills like coding or public speaking. Finally, reflect on this: knowledge is power, but the ability to acquire and use knowledge effectively is a superpower. With these strategies, you are not merely learning faster, you are learning smarter. You are building a foundation that will support not only academic success but lifelong learning and achievement. As you go forward, remember Emily's journey from struggle to success, and think about your own path. What will you do with the power to learn anything faster? How will you turn your newfound skills into opportunities? The possibilities are endless, and it all starts with a simple decision to try a new way of learning. So, why wait? Start today, and unlock the full potential of your mind. Have you ever felt like you were running on a treadmill while studying, exerting effort but not really getting anywhere? Imagine if you could step off that treadmill and onto a path that not only leads you forward but accelerates your progress exponentially. This is not just a dream. It's possible, and many have achieved it by unlocking a secret that revolutionized their learning process. Think about the last time you crammed for a test. You probably spent hours passively reading through notes and textbooks, trying desperately to memorize information. Now, contrast that with a scenario where studying feels almost effortless and each hour of study multiplies your understanding and retention. This distinction lies in a few transformational strategies that pivot your approach from passive to active, from tedious to dynamic. The first of these strategies involves leveraging the power of digital tools. Technology has transformed every aspect of our lives, and studying is no exception. One powerful tool that Emily utilized is Anki, a spaced repetition software that helps in memorizing facts efficiently. Anki uses an algorithm that schedules reviews at optimal intervals, which drastically reduces the time needed to maintain knowledge. Emily used it daily to review key concepts from her courses, and over time, this not only saved her hours of study but made her retention rates skyrocket. Another digital tool that can revolutionize your study process is educational platforms that offer interactive courses and videos. Platforms like Khan Academy, Coursera, and X provide resources that make learning engaging and interactive, often with assessments and quizzes that provide immediate feedback. For Emily, replacing passive reading with these interactive tools meant she could learn concepts faster and with better understanding. Now, let's talk about a strategy that might seem counterintuitive at first: taking regular breaks. It's based on the Pomodoro technique, where you focus intensely for a short period, typically 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. This method helps to maintain a high level of concentration without burning out. Emily found that by giving herself permission to take these short breaks, she could sustain longer periods of study without her performance dropping off. Incorporating movement into your study routine is another game changer. Studies show that physical activity can boost cognition and memory. Emily made it a habit to take short walks after completing a Pomodoro session. Sometimes, she'd even jog lightly or do some stretches. This not only cleared her mind but helped in retaining the information she studied. All these methods, effective as they are individually, amplify their benefits when used together. But here's the real secret: the mindset with which you approach these methods. Emily's transformation wasn't just about using new techniques, it was about changing her attitude towards studying. She shifted from viewing it as a chore to treating it as a skill she could master and enjoy. This shift in mindset is crucial. It's about moving from passive absorption of information to active engagement. It's about not just learning to pass a test but learning to understand deeply and retain information long-term. It's about becoming not just a better student, but a lifelong learner who can adapt and excel in an ever-changing world. So now, ask yourself, are you ready to transform your study habits? Are you prepared to not only learn faster but to deepen your understanding and enjoy the process? If you are, then start small. Choose one technique we discussed today and try it out. Once you feel the difference, integrate more methods and watch as your ability to learn and retain information transforms. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. The secret to studying 10x faster with no effort lies within your reach. Unlock it, embrace it, and step into a world of endless possibilities and potential. What will you learn first? How will you use these tools to change your life? The answers to these questions are just the beginning of your exciting journey in the world of efficient learning. As you embark on this transformative journey, it's important to also consider how you organize and structure your study space. An often overlooked aspect of efficient studying is the environment in which you study. Emily discovered that by creating a dedicated, distraction-free study area, her focus and productivity soared. This doesn't require a large investment or a complete overhaul of your living space. Simple changes like a comfortable chair, adequate lighting, and a clutter-free desk can make a significant difference. Additionally, having all your study materials at hand reduces downtime and keeps you immersed in your learning tasks. Moreover, integrating technology doesn't stop with study apps and platforms. Consider the use of digital calendars and task management tools to plan and track your study sessions. This administrative side of studying can often be as crucial as the learning itself. By scheduling your study times and setting specific goals for each session, you can ensure that every minute spent studying is purposeful and productive. Emily used these tools to block out times for each of her study techniques, ensuring she maintained a balanced approach. Another vital component is the development of critical thinking and problem-solving skills. While tools and techniques can help you memorize and understand information faster, developing the ability to think critically about that information can elevate your learning even further. Emily engaged in regular discussion groups, both online and offline, where diverse viewpoints on the same topics forced her to think more deeply and critically about the material. This not only solidified her knowledge but also prepared her for real-world applications. It's also essential to regularly assess your progress and adapt your strategies accordingly. Emily made it a habit to reflect on her study sessions at the end of each week. She would evaluate what worked well and what didn't, and adjust her strategies to optimize her learning process. This kind of self-assessment encourages a responsive approach to learning, where strategies evolve as you grow and as your needs change. In addition to these strategies, nurturing a growth mindset is fundamental. Understand that challenges and difficulties are part of the learning process, not signs of failure. Emily embraced her setbacks as opportunities to deepen her understanding and refine her techniques. This resilient attitude is key to maintaining motivation and perseverance, especially when the novelty of new study techniques begins to fade. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the broader implications of mastering these study techniques. The skills you develop don't just apply to academic learning, they are translatable to any area of life that requires learning and adaptation. Whether you're advancing in your career, picking up a new hobby, or navigating personal growth, the ability to learn efficiently and effectively is invaluable. So, as you look ahead, consider this: what areas of your life could benefit from these enhanced learning strategies? How might your personal and professional life change if you could learn and adapt at an accelerated pace? These are not just hypothetical questions, they are real possibilities that await your exploration and initiative. In conclusion, remember that the secret to studying 10x faster with no effort isn't about cutting corners or a magical quick fix. It's about smarter, more strategic effort. It's about leveraging the best tools and techniques, optimizing your environment, engaging actively, and maintaining a mindset geared toward growth and resilience. You have the power to transform how you learn, and in doing so, you can transform your life. So, take the first step. Choose one technique from today, apply it, and start your journey toward becoming not just a faster learner, but a profound one. The path ahead is bright, and it's yours to shape. What will your first step be? How will you unlock your true learning potential? The journey begins now, and it begins with you. As you consider this transformative journey, it's vital to remember the importance of staying curious. Curiosity is the fuel that drives us to explore new topics and deepen our understanding. Emily found that by fostering her curiosity, she not only enjoyed her studies more, but she was also more inclined to engage deeply with the content. When you're curious, studying stops being a chore and becomes an exciting exploration. Every topic you study can open doors to new ideas and insights, and with the right tools, this exploration can be both fast and fruitful. Moreover, the art of asking good questions plays a crucial role in accelerating your learning. Questions are powerful tools that can guide your focus and foster deeper understanding. Emily regularly practiced framing questions before starting a study session. This method helped her identify key areas where she needed more understanding and also prepared her to absorb information in a more structured way. By asking, "What are the main concepts I need to understand from this chapter?" or "How does this information relate to what I already know?" she set clear learning goals and made her study sessions much more effective. In addition to asking questions, the ability to connect new information with existing knowledge can significantly speed up your learning process. This method, known as associative learning, helps in creating a web of knowledge where new information sticks better. Emily used this technique by creating mind maps that connected new concepts with already familiar ideas. This not only helped in memorizing information but also in understanding it on a deeper level, allowing for quicker recall and application. Let's also touch on the importance of visualization. Visual learning techniques such as diagrams, charts, and videos can dramatically increase your ability to grasp complex information. For visual learners like Emily, replacing long texts with infographics or animated videos made it easier to understand and retain dense material. This switch not only saved time but also made the learning process more engaging and less draining. Furthermore, the use of mnemonics is another powerful tool that can enhance your memory and learning speed. Mnemonics are memory aids that help in recalling information through associations, often using humor or novelty. Emily used mnemonics to remember complicated formulas and historical dates, which significantly reduced her preparation time for exams and increased her confidence in her knowledge. Another aspect that cannot be overlooked is the role of peer learning. Engaging with peers in study groups or online forums can provide fresh perspectives and insights that you might not have considered. Emily found that explaining concepts to her peers and hearing their explanations helped solidify her own understanding and uncovered areas that needed more review. This collaborative learning not only speeds up the learning process but also makes it more comprehensive and robust. As we near the end of our discussion, it's imperative to highlight the importance of consistency. All these strategies and tools can only yield results if they are applied consistently. Emily's success in studying 10x faster was not because of sporadic efforts but because of her consistent application of these techniques over time. It's like building a muscle: the more regularly you train, the stronger it gets. Also, remember that flexibility in your approach can enhance your learning efficiency. As you try different techniques, be open to modifying them according to your schedule, your learning style, and the specific demands of your study material. What works well one day might not be as effective another day or with a different subject. Emily often tweaked her methods, experimenting with different combinations of techniques to see what worked best under various circumstances. Finally, let us consider the transformative power of resilience and persistence. The path to mastering effective study techniques is not devoid of challenges. There will be days when progress seems slow and motivation wanes. However, the key is to persevere. Emily's journey was punctuated with moments of doubt and frustration, but her persistence paid off. Each challenge was an opportunity to learn and adapt, pushing her closer to her goals. As we conclude, think about how applying these strategies could redefine not only how you learn but also how you approach life's challenges. With these tools, you are not just preparing for an exam, you are preparing for life. You are building a resilient, adaptable mind that can tackle complex problems, learn new skills, and thrive in an ever-changing world. So, what will your learning journey look like? Are you ready to take these strategies and carve out a path of personal and academic success? How will you apply what you've learned today to not just study faster, but to live smarter? The journey to becoming an exceptional learner starts with a single step, and that step begins with you. Embrace these techniques, make them a part of your daily routine, and watch as the world of learning unfolds in front of you with clarity and ease. The secret is out, and it's yours to wield. Let the journey begin. The journey to becoming an exceptional learner is not just about the strategies you use, it's also about the mindset with which you approach your studies. Imagine transforming your view of learning from a necessary chore to an exciting adventure. This shift in perspective is critical. It's not merely about absorbing information faster, it's about deeply engaging with that information in a way that sparks your curiosity and drives your passion. Consider how a change in attitude towards learning can make a profound difference. When Emily started her journey, she viewed studying as a daunting task. However, once she adopted a more curious and open-minded stance, her pace of learning accelerated without her even realizing it. She began to see connections between different pieces of knowledge, making her learning sessions not only quicker but also more enjoyable. Moreover, embracing a positive learning environment plays a crucial role in this transformative process. Surround yourself with people who motivate you, who challenge you to ask more questions and seek deeper understanding. Emily made it a point to join study groups that fostered a supportive and intellectually stimulating atmosphere. This was not just about sharing knowledge but also about encouraging each other to push beyond comfort zones and tackle more challenging material. Another key element in studying faster and more effectively is the ability to prioritize and focus. In a world brimming with distractions, learning to concentrate on what truly matters can significantly enhance your efficiency. Emily used techniques like the Pomodoro technique, where she would study intensely for short periods followed by brief breaks. This not only helped maintain her concentration but also prevented burnout, allowing her to study more in less time. Furthermore, the integration of feedback into your learning process cannot be overstated. Regularly seeking feedback, whether from peers, tutors, or through self-assessment, provides critical insights into your learning progress and helps identify areas for improvement. For Emily, feedback was a gateway to self-improvement. It enabled her to refine her strategies continuously and adapt her learning approach to ensure maximum efficiency and effectiveness. Incorporating these strategies into your daily routine might seem daunting at first, but remember, the essence of rapid learning lies in building habits. Start small, perhaps with one new technique. As you grow more comfortable and begin to see results, gradually incorporate more strategies. Over time, these will become second nature, and you'll find yourself studying not just faster but with greater comprehension and retention. As we look toward the future, think about the endless possibilities that could unfold from mastering these learning techniques. Imagine preparing for a challenging certification that could advance your career, learning a new language that opens up a different culture, or simply gaining knowledge that enriches your personal life. These are not just dreams, they are achievable realities that begin with the steps you take today. Remember, the journey to learning faster and more effectively is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, dedication, and consistent effort. It's about making incremental improvements that add up over time, leading to significant gains in your learning speed and quality. So, are you ready to embark on this journey? Are you prepared to challenge your existing learning methods and embrace new, more effective techniques? How will you use these strategies to not only enhance your academic performance but also to